Calling toll-free 888-253-3139. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water. For your preparedness storage or your home kitchen, purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com. The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding and making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones.
And the season for liberty.
Love runs high.
Again, this is about the mainstream media not being able to lie and spin. It's about government not having credibility. It's about more than half the West being under federal control, 90% of Nevada, 80% of other states in many of those areas. And they're just kicking everybody off. They're tearing up the roads. They're kicking people off that had grazing rights. People that actually own the property they're kicking off, who have ranches inside these areas. And it's a stated agenda to get us off and get us dependent, while beef is at all-time highs. But because of the new real media, we're not the alternative media. We are bigger in most cases than mainstream media. When it comes to news, where we're not bigger is entertainment. That dwarfs everything, and that's where the real propaganda is at. And more I'm trying to focus on showing propaganda that's in entertainment. All the anti-gun, New World Order garbage that you see in TV and movies. But just John Baum was talking about this. Everybody I've talked to, I ran into 2 cops on the street who said, good job, with what happened out in Nevada. And then I ran into somebody last night who heard a cop listening to my show, video feeds yesterday, and he was all excited that nobody got hurt and was for the ranchers, obviously. And then John Bound, tell folks what you saw yesterday.
Yeah, I was just driving around yesterday, having my day off, and I was listening to the local rock station, KLBJ.
93.7.
93.7, and Beto, the local DJ, went to a break and started talking about and I'll show it right here for viewers, the article by Kit Daniels about the FAA designates Bunny Ranch a no-fly zone. So
the local station was plugging our article, and then tell folks when you got home.
And then I got home, and a completely unrelated search. I have a Blu-ray player hooked up to a cable system. It's a little complicated, but I went to the YouTube channel, and I was just flipping through the channels, and news and politics, bam, there's David Knight's face. #1 story. It's everywhere.
And again, we do that now every week, folks. And again, we're not bragging. This is your media. The system is a fraud. And the feds were saying, we're about to play this video, we're going to shoot you if you come on this property. that the governor already said, no, Bundy's got the service rights. He did. I mean, it's the law. And the feds just say, well, we're the law. We're going to ignore that. Kind of like Benghazi or Fast and Furious or the Attorney General refusing subpoenas. And now members of Congress are saying, you should be in jail. You've got to call it what it is. When it's criminal, it's criminal. And so that's why this is so big. And again, people say, Alex, why weren't you out there? Well, A, I had no idea it would get this huge. I knew it was a big story. I sent reporters out there. But why did I send Paul Watson to get 3.5 million viewers in Switzerland, in beautiful Switzerland? You don't think I don't want to go to Switzerland? I have 3 children. I have to run this whole operation while being on air 3-4 hours a day. The nightly news, everything. Believe me, folks, I want to be able to go on the road more, and I do. And I've been arrested probably 5 times. But the haters are going to hate. The whole point is, I'm not some media guy who wants to be the only guy. I have looked for reporters and looked for people that won't stab me in the back, that won't get on power trips, that won't flip out when I give them the ball. I'm more of a coach. There are people with better skills than I. David Knight comes off so smooth, so nice, so knowledgeable. He knows as much as I do about stuff, but he's a father of multiple children and is adopted. His great wife. Josh Owens been down here about a year, does an incredible job. He went to the NSA, and they threatened to arrest him as well in Utah. They're just a great team, and let me tell you, it feels good. I want to be able to put my reporters like Jakari Jackson and Kit Daniels and Leanne McAdoo and all these people up front, and I'm able to now. I mean, they went last week and asked the big questions at the Fort Hood shooting that nobody had asked about drugs, and the general said no, he was on a bunch of different drugs. See? When none of the other media, over 100 other media were at Fort Hood, and no one would ask questions but our people. And then why don't you have concealed carry on Fort Hood? It's the size of Dallas, literally. Bigger than Dallas. It's huge. You got all these communities there, and they can't have guns to protect themselves. And so we caused that national debate. Now Congress is looking at letting people be armed on military bases to protect themselves. Not that we're even special. We'll just ask common sense questions. And so, see, it's about my reporters. It's about you, the listeners, being reporters. Starting your own YouTube, starting your own news organization. You are the resistance. It's not Alex Jones. I mean, I'll be frank with you. If I can hire somebody and train them and they're better than me, I'm going to go off the air, folks. You ready for that? I don't want to be on the air. I want to be behind the scenes going over news, going, I think Harry Reid's involved. He's been involved in other land grabs. Look into it. And they go, really, Alex, where do you get that? 2 hours later, they find all the documents. It's a national news story. And that's why the BLM backed off and said, fine, we're pulling out. Was because now that the Chinese government and Harry Reid are involved land grabbing, they knew it was a PR disaster when Drudge linked to it. #1 story on the internet Friday and Saturday. #1. We have the article at Infowars.com. By the aggregators, Alexa and others, #1, hands down, with double the traffic of the next biggest story. That was Obama letting the NSA spy on people through Heartbleed, the bug. Already told you that last week. Of course it's a government operation giving out those keys. They want to come out with a new encryption system they've got even better keys to. I know how the enemy operates, folks. This is all I do. So my whole mission here, ladies and gentlemen, is to build the cadres. I've looked. You've seen the people I bring on air, the folks I try to work with. 9 times out of 10, they flip out and go nuts and think that I needed them or something and that it was about my ego and their ego. No, it's about defeating the New World Order. It's about stopping the gun grab. It's about stopping all the forced abortion worldwide. It's about building a better world and based on justice and going to the stars together. Now, I'm going to narrate some of this that's not good for radio, but most of it is. This is David Knight with the high-def cameras, with Josh Owens going up to the line, and the Feds saying, we will shoot you on the loudspeakers, and then the national media would not tell anybody this happened. Okay, but then the Feds stood down and backed off, released the cattle, and left. They're aiming guns at people, saying, we're going to kill you. The people walk with their guns down, saying, go ahead, kill us. 1776 will start. That was actually being chanted. Here is the audio and video. Court order, you will be shot. It gets clearer as they get closer. The people marching with the cowboys on the federal armored vehicles and cars with the snipers trained on them saying, we will shoot you.
We're not leaving.
They've got come and take it flags, Culpeper flags.
You're going to have to arrest us all or shoot us all.
The crowd is now moving forward toward the barrier.
One man started walking forward with an American
Police have been
flag.
telling everybody they're going to shoot if we don't move back. People are moving forward with their hands in the air, holding flags with both hands in the air. It's a mixture of people on foot, as you can see, people on foot, and cowboys.
Find a piece of resolution to this. Don't escalate. Only time to talk upstairs with Metro. All right, push these people back up off the gate. Push them back up off the gate. We're going to work to release these cattle. Listen to me. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to work with you, but I need you to back
Hit
up.
pause.
What you're doing.
They're one of the paramilitary BLM as they're about to push the final gates down. They've crossed over the line, saying, fine, we'll release the cattle. They said they weren't going to. They said they were going to leave in a few days because they'd finished their roundup. No, they released the cattle. And now they're going to have to put the water drainage back in that his family built, all of it. You wonder why beef prices are up? Cattle ranching is being shut down all over. Most people I know are getting out of cattle ranching because the regulations, the harassment, you can't make money on it. How's that for a socialist country? Just like Venezuela. Let's go back to it.
We'll get that time. Okay. I know, I get that. But can we push them back up off the gate for right now? Let me work with you and you. I'll allow you two to come in with me. You come with me. You're not getting arrested. You got my word, but no one's taking you custody. If you want to stay there, that's great. Then you're bad. Let's go. Do your thing.
This makes me proud of America.
We'll make sure that we're here.
They're telling the Bundy father and sons, come with them.
But it's only going to be Bundy and his son.
No,
that's it.
It's the people or not, and you guys need to leave.
Okay.
You need to leave. That's the
and I'm telling you, you need to de-escalate the situation.
No,
I'm imploring upon you your responsibility to
De-escalate. The globalists are butchering this country. They're shutting us down. June 21. Cloward and Piven.
Listen.
Listen.
You are on Nevada Strip.
Okay.
There's time. No,
there's a time.
The time is now.
We're doing that.
No, the
but
time
you need
is
to push these people back so they can do it safely. Push them back so they can do it safely.
We respect you.
And they start cutting the fence down and removing it. And the feds pull out. They overrun them. They said, we will shoot you. It's on the audio. And the people start riding through, folks. This is America. This is what made us great.
The wealth was built and won.
And you globalists, go ahead, start shooting Americans. See what happens. I don't want this civil war. Look at the feds, the guys with their machine guns backing off. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcast.